Welcome to Champagne Sunday. I'm Lauren.
Hey, I'm Bonnie.
I'm Beth.
And we're going to talk about life
After divorce.
And living
The best life.
and the life you love.
Yes, living the life you love on that other side.
Cheers.
Cheers. Welcome.
Okay, ladies, so tonight we're asking ourselves, as we enter the holiday season, what do celebrations look like or mean to us these days?
Yes, because we just finished Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
So, Beth and I have started the past couple of years. We gather on my porch dressed as witches to hand out candy.
And that's fun.
And that has been fun. And that's a new thing
It's
that we're
kind
doing.
of tapered me from trying to scare children.
She does tell the children that we're not actually dressed up when they come to the porch.
In a fun way.
Yeah, so that has been a fun sort of new thing. My sister was able to join us last year.
That's right.
Yes, and Lauren, you had people on the porch this year. It was really great because we had
porches.
in Maryland we had a couple of porches across the street.
Yeah.
Our porches, we had people out
fun.
and talking. It was fun. It was just
It
was something
for a fun
new.
atmosphere and a fun neighborhood atmosphere.
And a witch's hat is not that expensive. Just to sort of
Dollar
feel
Tree.
like you're involved. Yeah. Right. And Lauren, you didn't really have your kid for Halloween. No. So did having everybody on your porch kind of help with that?
Yeah, so let me I didn't have him last year either. I basically get to have him for an hour to trick or treat. Next year I'll have him the full time, but these past couple of years I've been really cognizant because again it's just been about a year and a half. I've been really cognizant of finding a costume that matches his, and then we go out, and he really likes that. Yeah. That we dress similarly. So like this year, he wanted to be a ghost from the Haunted Mansion, so I picked another ghost to be. Last year he wanted to be Peter Pan, so I was Captain Hook. And I've dressed in his theme before, but he thinks it's really fun, and it's kind of fun.
I think it's really fun to make it be kind of matching and fun.
Yeah.
Because there are not that many years that they want to dress like that.
They're just,
or they want you to go with them.
They're not little that long.
No,
I keep reminding myself this is going to be 2-3 years. He's 9, so it's going to be no time, and he won't be interested in that at all. So I'm soaking that all up. But then after so I got him for an hour. I put his makeup on him. He was like this scary skeleton Hatbox Ghost.
His makeup was fabulous.
Thank you.
That was fabulous.
And I threw my costume on. We went to y'all's house, and we went to 2 other houses in the neighborhood, and then he left. And then I got home and realized I was freezing, and put on like a cat. I don't know what it was, like a cat.
A much warmer costume.
Yeah.
And sat on the porch with some friends, and we handed out candy, and y'all handed out candy. And it was a very good community atmosphere. That was really fun.
It was really fun.
So that's I guess that's how I'm gonna roll, or at least that's how I'm rolling right now for Halloween.
I think it's important to have a positive spin on all these celebrations. As we have said, children do not stay in that small space very long, and then they're up and they're grown. And I think anything you can do to have fun. Make it fun for yourself too.
This summer, my entire family. I'm pretty close to my sisters, and one of them lives in town, but one of them lives a couple of hours away, and I see her often, but not as often. So when everybody's together with all of the children, it's rare. It's a couple times a year, and this summer we were all in my sister's pool, and all the kids were there, and they were all just hanging out, tossing a volleyball or whatever. And my sister said to me, we don't have that many of these left. We've got 8, maybe 9, or 8 or 7, something like that, before they're graduated, and we don't get to do this because, when they hit high school or whatever, they're not going to want to do this. They're going to be with their friends, and that's that. I was wow, that's true. That's perspective, and
because we've had last year at Christmas, so we've always gotten together with my sister and her family. So I only have one sister, and her kids, and my parents, and her husband, of course. and usually get to go with them every holiday. We would do a beach trip every summer. Well, beach trips have stopped because let's see, my daughter and my middle son are the only ones still, and I guess I have a niece. Those 3 are in college, but then the oldest 2 are out with jobs, and it just, to get everybody together and have that beach time is just not worked out for us. Mm-hmm. But last year we were able to do a destination Christmas, and we went to Dollywood, and it was the biggest flop because it was freezing cold. Like, they'd had to close Dollywood for a day, but we were in one cabin together, and it was wonderful. Like, we watched, Christmas movies together and just see that, and we sat there and we're like, who knows when we'll all get to be together this way again, because it's just getting so few and far between. So when you find those moments, and I think we're fortunate that we have the extended family that still loves to be together. Mm-hmm. So
well, we used to do a family celebration. My dad and his sister, we would always get together. There were only 2 of them, and so all the children would get together, and now grandchildren. And we, since COVID kind of threw everybody off the tracks, and so since then it's been really hard to get everybody together. But we have gone back and forth for the past 2 months of when we're having the Christmas one, and we finally settled on a date, and it's been years since all of us have been together, so I'm looking forward to that. But I think it's important to get together either with your family, with your friends, and show your kids you can have fun. This is what we do. This is, enjoy your time together. This is our family connection. Mm-hmm. This is our neighborhood connection. I think it's important for kids to have grounding in their family and their community. Yeah. I think that's really, really
relationships important. Are what are important in life.
And yes, relationships, but also it's kind of gives you a sense of place. And
it does. Belonging.
Like, that's a really important feeling. To know that, like, no matter what happens, you have something you can go back to. You can have something you can depend on.
Yeah.
Yes.
And having that baseline that you can depend on, no matter what happens, is really important.
I think there were only 2 of us growing up, siblings, and so my cousins on both sides of my family were very important. And even now that I'm an old lady, I look back on those childhood relationships, and we pick up where we left off.
Yeah,
it's great to have those. I'm fortunate enough to have them on both sides, but I think it's also very grounding for a child to know that they belong.
Yeah,
and that they're wanted and loved by these. Other extended family. And by extended family, I mean like friends too, step in and act as aunts and
my kids know who my best friends are and would not hesitate to call any one of them if they needed anything.
Yeah. Mine got in touch with my friend
for
a birthday cake. So I think it's really important that they have a sense of extended family too.
Yeah.
And
community and church too can serve as that as well. Like,
definitely.
Church family is very specific,
Yeah.
Because you all share I think it's about sharing a common experience too.
Right.
Right. So, I would say, like, I don't know, Thanksgiving. So that's how sort of Halloween's have been. I don't know, I'm just kind of like thinking through the holidays.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving last year, my son and I both got the flu, and we did not have any. We did not.
That's right.
We gave thanks for not dying of the flu.
I forgot about that.
Well, that's kind of like 2 years ago. For Thanksgiving, I had knee surgery.
Yeah.
So I had a friend. I had ordered Thanksgiving knowing that I was going to have this surgery, and I had ordered Thanksgiving dinner, and a friend went and picked it up. So it was actually. Because I had it the day before, I was already awake. I had slept really well the night before. And so it was kind of a very peaceful, very quiet, low stress holiday because all the food was already in the house. I had a teenage daughter. My son was there. All they had to do was warm it up. It was probably the most low key holiday we've ever had, and we sat around and played cards. We just hung out. It was like a snow day. It was really great.
We did. My sister owns a business, and I'm gonna plug it. Is that okay?
Sure.
My sister owns Gourmet Kitchen. So if you see it in your local grocery stores, buy Gourmet Kitchen. It's great. But she makes, different dishes for Thanksgiving and Christmas and like Easter. So there was I think it was one year we all went to the beach for Thanksgiving and we didn't cook. We just got gourmet stuff. We were like, why we have been doing this the whole time? Like, this is great. So we started doing that, and it's so much less
It takes all the
pressure.
stress off.
And then everybody just kind of makes their favorite thing to make, that one favorite thing to make, and that's that. Last year, my son and I got sick during Thanksgiving, so we couldn't go. But and then the Christmas, this is the first time that he won't be in my house on Christmas Eve, and that's kind of sad. But like, I'm busy anyway because I have to be at the church, and so he's typically asleep.
I'll be there with
Anyway, yeah. Midnight mass, gals.
Yeah.
But last year I sort of established like I got him less things, and we went to Disney. That was his big because his birthday is in the winter as well, so we went to Disney. Well, he's like, we're gonna go to Disney every year. This is our new tradition, and I was like, oh no, I can't afford this. So this year I was like, I do want to take him somewhere. So one of his friends and my former student, who's his like former dance teacher, is performing in Pigeon Forge. So we're gonna try to go see him during Dollywood, but just trying to like do something to go somewhere to have experiences.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm much in terms of celebrations. I'm so much more cognizant of having experiences than any tangible item. That has been a shift in me, I think. Not that I was like, give me presents all the time, but like I'd much rather just
But
go.
that is
It's a
kind of how
different
Christmas
tradition.
is. But
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's kind of the way my family has tried to shift a bit. And my oldest son, that is definitely the way he rolls. He would rather travel and go somewhere. He's already said, hey, can we go somewhere, like, I don't know, out of the country for Christmas? I was like, it's not going to work this year. It's just not. It's just not going to work this year. And but that's what he always wants to do. But y'all talking about our Thanksgivings, because since my grandmother passed and the divorce, like it all kind of happened at the same time, we've started doing silly things like just going to the lake and going out on the boat. Like we're having sandwiches for Thanksgiving because it's more about just being with family.
Right.
We've made that having no one stressing out over the cooking, that sort of thing, and that's what we've done for the past couple of years. Or I've invited some really close friends that we have to come over and just bring whatever they want to, and we'll just have whatever. You know what I mean? Just try to make it really about spending time with people.
Yeah.
Instead of it being anything major.
We, in the last couple of years, 7 years, we have started going to my cousins at the lake in Wisconsin, which is a hike up there. But let me tell you, it is like the perfect Thanksgiving because it's cold. There's usually snow. It looks like a Hallmark movie. I love to cook, and my favorite meal to cook is Thanksgiving. I do all my grandmother's recipes, and so they are more than happy to have a resident chef for the holiday weekend. And so everybody really gets fulfilled, and it's beautiful, it's restful. I have love started to do that. Now this year we will not do that, but we've had a couple of years in there that we could not do it, but it's just nice to be out of town, and it's a little adventure. And so we've done that.
All right.
I would say like related to celebrations or traditions are little adventures.
Yeah.
Like what you were just saying, we can't always swing going out of, like, I think all of us like to wander.
Yes.
Like travel is.
If I could go out of the country 2 or 3 times a year, I think it wasn't
other
enough.
than theater. and maybe wine, good wine. Travel is arguably my like biggest passion. I love seeing new places. It's my favorite.
I do too.
Like you could just plant me down in a brand new place and be like, go, and I'd be like, okay, hi, I'm Lauren. Who are you? I'm made for it. But that's not always like reasonable time wise or finance wise. But just little adventures, like just run into. I went to Birmingham on Friday night to see my friend in an opera, and while that's just an hour away, I had not gone out of town to do something. I mean, I did a concert a couple months ago, but it's been about once a month when usually I run more than that. So, but it was a nice night to just like,
I need to do more of that. I need to take advantage. Yeah. So when my sister and her husband, they work overseas and have for, I don't know, forever, like years and years and years, more than 20 years. And no matter where they're planted in the same place for 2 or 3 years, I think. And they spend every weekend exploring as far out from where they are so they can make sure they exhaust everything to do in that country.
That's
and
cool.
Nearby countries, no matter where they are. Well, they moved back to Huntsville, and they did the same thing. Where can we go? Who can we see? All of these experiences. And I'm thinking, I need to be doing that.
But there's a lot of places from here.
Yeah.
If you do day trips, there's a lot of really interesting places.
And so that's, so just to kind of make a list of where, and it wouldn't cost that much. It's just, it costs time.
But it's mainly a day trip from here.
Well, and what we just talked about, so with celebrations, what I heard from what we've said so far is that what the biggest thing about celebrating is your people, is the relationships, is just having that time. So, and that's another way of just gathering the people that you really enjoy spending time with and go on a day trip and just kind of plan that every once in a while. And that is just a celebration or a way to celebrate.
So I'm gonna throw just a little bit of a wrench into this, but I think it's an interesting topic, is that family, whether you are divorced or single or wherever you are, extended family can be very difficult sometimes.
Yeah, well, sometimes your friends are your better family than your family.
Yeah, we all, like, our chosen family is.
Yes.
So I think also learning to arm yourself before you enter that situation is really important. Like, that when you go to this event that something
so perhaps you
might go down.
As we go into talking about celebrations, when you're getting to choose your celebrations, maybe choose who you celebrate with carefully.
Well, you can't always do that.
You can't always do that.
That's true.
Sometimes there are higher expectations.
But you have to be ready to know how you're going to respond to.
Yeah, I'm very blessed. I don't have to really worry about
No,
that.
I have definitely had to respond to some things that I wasn't prepared to respond to in the past with my extended family. And you just, it's fine. It comes from a lot of blended family that have a lot of different lives and emotions, and some of those people only see each other once a year. You know?
That's true.
And it happens. I think a lot of people have that scenario. But not going is worse. Not going equals regret to some extent. And I think you just have to decipher just how you're going to navigate it when you get there,
Right. That's true. Sometimes family events can be tricky. So.
Well, that's probably a really good podcast that we need to talk about, is arming ourselves.
Being prepared.
And being prepared and protecting ourselves and all of that. We need to add that one to the list. That'll be a good future one.
Yeah.
All right, so what are some really fun ideas that y'all have to make the Christmas season special? So we have children at such vastly different ages, and the Christmas season is coming up, and it doesn't look like the way it always has in our kids' lives necessarily. So what are you going to do to make it feel special, but not just for your kid, for you? Do you have any thoughts?
Again, I'm so focused on things that, like, doing things and less on tangible items. So I am I mean, even my partner, I bought his Christmas present yesterday, and it's a ticket to an event. Like, we're going to something. So I want to make that more of a part of what we do. December is so busy for me because I've got so much at church and at school. Like, there's shows and services, but in between that, I hope that like I can take my son to events that are happening around. Like, that is fun to me, and that's time with him, and that's what I enjoy more than anything. And I think he's at the age where like it's video games or nothing. So like, what kind of present am I even going to get him other than books? So he's just going to get like a little spattering of things, and then we'll
Close.
go do things. Yeah.
Well, I think events too, when I have taken my daughter to special things, it's good. Now, there will be 3, my son will be home too, for Christmas, and we're going to try to get together and figure out an event that all 3 of us can enjoy. And maybe go and spend the night someplace, like in a cabin, and have like a little fun pre-Christmas thing together, just to spend time together, in a different place other than our house. So
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that.
My daughter is already sending me ideas on how to decorate the outside of the house.
There you go.
Just decorating the house.
Yeah.
So that when they are,
help.
that just, it can be a pain to get out and to put up, but just having the things that they remember from childhood out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like my house would get mad at me if I didn't do it.
Well,
I feel like I would wake in the middle of the night with the house being like, Lauren, why have you not put up the greenery?
Well, I spent years doing it by myself. But in the last couple of years, I've made it a family event. Like, they were always asked to help it, but it's really, first semester of school crushes you when you're doing all these activities, and I always had fall sport people. So now we all decorate together, and it's fun. It's like a family event.
And I think it's my daughter and I, it's kind of become our thing.
Mm-hmm.
So when we moved into this house, it was, my oldest was still off at college. My middle kid was playing football and doing all of those fall sports and things. And so she and I took over we're going to make this house awesome. And so she and I took over the decorating.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that we did together, chose a theme, put it all up together and all of that. And last year I did it, a lot of it without her because, she's in college, but she'll be home for Thanksgiving. She's already, hey, what about a Taylor Swift theme? And I'm like, okay, what exactly would that look like? It's just kind of so that's something
Watch
that's
out.
fun.
You might have NFL merchandise this year.
Oh, that's probably fleeting. I doubt it. But yeah, decorating. But and baking.
Baking, we do.
Baking the things that they
you can
expect.
bake this year.
I know. Well, I usually, so one of my personal, okay, I'm going to go on a record, audience, as saying I make the best pecan pie in the history of the world. And it's my aunt's recipe, and it is so good. So,
And I'll be learning that recipe out.
I wake up, my tradition on Thanksgiving, my personal tradition, I have done this for countless, I couldn't tell you. And I'm always late to Thanksgiving at my dad's house because I do it. And I refuse to budge. I wake up and I bake a pecan pie and I bake an apple pie. And I take one to one house and one to the other, like my mom's house or whatever. So while I watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and it makes me so happy.
Yeah, I love putting that turkey in super early.
Well, I was trying to think other things. So for Thanksgiving, when my kids were little, we'd make leaf cookies and we'd take those to whatever event. Now that my daughter, once again, so when it became a tradition when my ex-husband and I separated, that I would host a Friendsgiving for her and her friends. I think that started in 8th grade. Well, they're going into their sophomore year of college, and she asked me she didn't ask me. She said, we're doing this on the Wednesday before so we're still hosting.
Oh, that's great.
And so it's just like trying to find ways to make sure, just to have kids celebrate and feel like everything is great and fine and all of that. And that has been one that I have loved because I love her friends. I love being able to see her friends. I miss her friends.
Yeah.
So I miss all of that. So that's another little
good.
fun thing. It's just to hold a celebration. And for that, I make pralines. Mine is pralines.
Fun. We
So-
used to do a cookie swap.
Oh, that's
That
fun.
kind of fell by the roadside, so we might have to reincarnate that.
I'd get in on a cookie swap.
That might be a good big girl thing to do.
Yeah, oh, I think we need an ornament swap. I think we need to find all the different ornaments of champagne that we can find.
Oh, somebody gave me one last night.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Good. Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
So, all right.
Well,
Well,
I think it's important to mark occasions and make them special for you and for your children.
including birthdays.
Yeah, birthdays.
It's how
I don't like birthdays, but
no, I'm not a huge fan either, but rituals like that are how we remind ourselves we're here.
mhm.
See, and okay, so I don't necessarily love celebrating my birthday, but I do love my birthday because it is yet another opportunity to start over.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I mark the years with my birthday. It's like, okay, if I'm going to have a resolution, well, it's going to start or end or begin around my birthday. If I can just make it to my birthday again. I moved into this house. My first day of possession was on my birthday.
I remember because I came over and I had a
Yes.
slice of strawberry cake.
Yes,
I remember that
yes.
vividly.
So it's just, to me, it's a way, on that one day, I allow myself to feel like I really am a child of God and that I am incredibly loved and that I can be anybody I want to be ever. And I just allow myself that one day to let go of all that self-conscious BS that runs in my head and just live and believe that I am a princess for a whole day. And it's just important to me to feel that and allow myself that for a day. And it just, I don't know, to me it just became important to because I could get so bogged down in everything else.
Yeah.
So to allow myself that day, whether anybody celebrates me or not, no one could wish me happy birthday. I could get not one gift or not have one bite of birthday cake, but I will spend that day from beginning to end feeling like I deserve the world.
Oh, I'm gonna celebrate me
Yes.
on my birthday. Like I'm gonna choose things on my birthday that make me happy.
Yes.
But
choosing,
like I
being
had
gracious.
I had some
allowing
people
others.
over last night and had like a little campfire because that's what I wanted. But it would make me uncomfortable if anybody started to do what.
A traditional birthday thing.
Yeah,
Why is that hard? Why is it hard to feel gracious and allow people to do things for us?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
I think we all have that.
I had trouble.
too.
I remember feeling so nervous because I'm an actress. Like I feel I get nervous sometimes when I get on stage, but on the whole, I feel just fine talking in front. You could tell me right now I needed to do a speech in front of 1 million people, and I'd be like, okay,
I can do
I got
speeches
this.
too.
I got this.
But
No problem.
I don't-
But I remember when I was graduating from college, another ritual. I felt so nervous about walking across the stage because I was playing myself, and I don't know if it's about feeling uncomfortable that people are celebrating you or what, but I just or that
Does
you're
it
not
feel
comfortable being-
selfish or
maybe that's what it is. Maybe it feels selfish or
self-centered?
gratifying, self-centered, and I don't like that. However, do I get to give that gift to myself? Yes. I get to.
And you have no problem giving to others when it's theirs.
No. But if I say to myself, it's your birthday, we're going to get an Americano and a cupcake for breakfast, I will absolutely give that to myself. That's a treat to myself. But I don't know. I just it just makes me feel kind of weird. I
It's
mean,
interesting. As long as you celebrate yourself, as long as you feel good about
Yeah.
who you are. But I think that acknowledging ourselves, especially as single women, moving forward and remembering that, we are awesome. We've got a lot to give and a lot that we've been through a lot, and we've learned a lot, and can pretty much rule the world if we chose to. I think it's good for us to acknowledge that on our days.
yeah. there's a dog passing through. We don't know where said dog
A very
is or what
ancient
said dog is doing,
dog.
but said dog is celebrating herself
That's right.
by passing through.
That is right.
No, but like it's fun to. I've been waking up so happy lately. I don't know about y'all. I just like I might be part of it might be the weather, but I just like I open my eyes and I'm like, oh, it's a new day. Like I've got that
See,
feeling.
isn't that awesome?
Oh,
That
yeah.
all the other shoes gonna drop thing is
Yeah.
gone.
It is a magical feeling. Like sometimes I feel like I'm in a movie.
That's great.
Oh, it's great. No.
Yeah, I woke up this morning thinking, besides not sleeping because of the time change, but I woke up this morning thinking, I am so happy
Mm-hmm.
to be where I am,
Yep.
and I'm very happy. Well, I love the fall. The fall is my favorite season anyway. But I was just happy that I'm happy with my house again. I'm re-falling in love with my house again. So I think
Yeah.
it's cyclic with me
Yeah.
if I don't get enough projects done. But I was really happy this morning when I woke up and had my coffee. I love the simplicity of that, sitting in my room in the sunshine and
just
hearing the birds and everything. I was just really I was at peace.
I had forgot
So
it
it's
got
good.
cold this week, and
Mhm.
it was Tuesday morning, and I had forgotten to take out the recycling, and it ran this week,
Mm-hmm.
and the alarm went off at 7, and I had about I can sleep actually as late as I want on Tuesday, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna run outside and take the recycling out, and I did. I ran out. I like put on pants. I ran outside and like rolled it out, and I ran back in and I jumped in the covers. I was like, oh, I forgot how good it feels to be cold and get back in the covers. I thought, oh my God, if I could bottle this feeling, it's so nice. But like just those little sensory things that like the smell of something that is familiar to you, baking, or like just daily celebrations that you don't think about. Like today I'm getting like emotional about this for some reason. So but I was sitting at brunch with my boyfriend and my friend, and it was such a beautiful day, and I was just looking at the sky, and I could see the moon a little bit, and I was like, gosh, how pretty, like this is great. And my boyfriend said, what are you thinking? And I was like, absolutely nothing. I'm not thinking anything other than like, this feels great.
At the end of our walk today, when I was walking home, it was just that dark was coming down. And on 2 different blocks, I smelled someone cooking, and I smelled someone's fire.
Yeah.
And I thought, it was kind of crisp, but it wasn't cold today, but it was a little, the temperature had changed, the light had changed. It was sort of in that little magical period right before it got super dark. And I was thinking, this is what fall smells like. This is why I'm so happy.
That's
nice. And you know, the crazy squirrels in our neighborhood were dropping nuts on me. And there were leaves falling. It was just a like that.
You had a
captured
Hallmark
moment.
walk home.
I did. I had a captured moment on my way home, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
No, do you think that, I don't know that this has to do with divorce or change, because they're very similar beings. I mean, they're the same. But like, tiny things matter so much more to me now. Like simple moments matter so much more to me now than a grand moment ever would have.
Well,
Like,
and I agree. So it's almost like you walking home.
It's an
today
appreciation.
and you're there.
Yeah.
It's like celebrating those tiny perfect
Tiny
moments
moments.
that you happen upon,
I-
and are like, wow.
I remember a time where like younger Lauren would have gotten upset that my partner at the time, or my husband at the time, that he would have just gotten me flowers for Valentine's Day and not like also like a present. And I remember like I was like, you can't just do flowers, not a gift, like get a gift, because I'm a gift giver. I love gifting. And I remember my secretary being like, be grateful, Lauren, you need to be grateful. And I was like, I'm sorry, but like blah 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 blah. Today Lauren is like, you remembered it was Valentine's Day? That's so sweet. And I don't know if it changes after a child, or if it changes or if it's a multitude of things.
I think it's maturity also.
Yeah.
I think at some point we're old enough and have enough life experience
To recognize what's actually important.
Well, and,
Yeah.
well, and to recognize how different people are and how different they think. You know what I mean? So today Lauren would appreciate flowers because she might know that her partner really believes that flowers are the be all end all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not that they were trying to, you know what I mean? I just
Right.
think it's a different, the longer you live, the more perspective you have on how other people think and live, and you become accepting.
Yeah.
And appreciative. I just think that's
Okay, and
different.
I'll back that up by saying, okay, maybe it is time and maybe it is maturity, but also maybe it's because you didn't have the feeling of being celebrated or appreciated, and then all of a sudden
And
you
so,
do. And for me, any small thing that someone does for me, I'm over the top grateful for. I will cry over, because I'm like, oh my gosh, that person sees me
mhm.
and is celebrating me and knows that this is important to me. Whereas before, I felt unnoticed, unappreciated. I don't know if it's because of the experiences that I went through that I see tiny things more now as big things. Like the tiny things are the things, not the big things. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not the huge,
Yes.
let's go to dinner and let's do this and blah, blah, blah. It's the little things,
No,
like a
but
text that
simple.
says, it's your birthday, I hope you're having a great day.
Yeah.
That goes way
that's,
farther
that's
to me.
everything, because who cares about a fancy dinner if you're going to go and sit there in silence?
Exactly.
You know, like
exactly.
who cares about that? Like
Yeah.
I that
To
whole
me, it's
perspective
the
is so
smaller
different.
things that
Yeah.
I appreciate,
Well-
and I notice more.
Yeah.
Well, and I appreciate someone who knows how to give gifts, because I am a terrible gift giver. I mean, so my ex-husband was great, very thoughtful in every one of his gifts.
Really?
Yes, that is one thing that he could do and do well. My sister will go to a foreign country and pick up all these little doodads. They're not anything major, but I am so appreciative and love. And when I went to Italy this summer, I was stunted. I had no idea what to get. I couldn't get anybody anything. I was like, this is so much harder than I thought that it was. You know, it just
No. Do you know what I love gift giving. I
I do too.
gift giving.
It's part of my love language.
But what I
like
do is, and I know I'm very ADD, but if I hear somebody say they like something or they need something, I write it down. I
That's
put it
good.
in my phone. Like, I know that my
Excellent.
boyfriend wants a pair of house shoes. I know that because he said it out loud. So
you wrote it down and you got it.
I wrote it down. I'm probably going to end up getting that for him for Christmas, or
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's I enjoy.
Yeah,
that.
I'm just not, and I hate it for my kids, because he wasn't always like there were times when he really wasn't that great a gift giver necessarily, and some of the stuff that he got the kids, but he did try and get them things that were for them, about them.
That's cool.
If that makes sense.
Mhm.
Like when one kid wanted a boat with a motor on it, he got him a canoe. Now that was a huge miss, right? Never
Yeah.
really used.
Yeah.
But at least he was listening. But I still think, I hate that now that he's gone, I can't really step back into that, because I'm truly like, what do you want? Great, let me check that off. Like, I'm not trying. I have a terrible time thinking outside the box, like my people, to try and get them things that they might like.
And I think, like, my mom loves getting tangible things. She loves watching the kids open presents. And we've all in the past few years been like, please, can we just, like, get experiences, because they don't need anything else. I mean, like.
Okay, but yeah, so my grandmother, this might be something for your mother. My grandmother would wrap up crap around her house and put it in a basket, and especially after we quit giving gifts, and that you would pass the basket around, and we would all take home something she wanted out of her house.
That's perfect.
It would be the Lancome gift set that she didn't want. It would be, I mean, you name it, and it was.
That reminds me
But everybody.
It reminds me of
That's who I want to grow up.
Yeah.
Right there.
No, it reminds me of Christmas Vacation when she wraps. Doesn't she wrap the cat?
Yes.
Okay, well but we all knew it was coming, and we'd get bright red lipstick at 10 years old, going, "Thank you." I mean, we knew it was something we were taking home with us and possibly throwing away. But
That is so
she
funny.
still got to watch everybody unwrap the gift.
Unwrap a gift.
Doing it. Give me about 10 years. It's gonna be about
in.
Yeah, everything she wanted out, she'd just wrap it up and stick it in the gift bag, the grab bag. I think we called it the grab bag. Everything in a basket, pass the basket around.
Okay, I'm doing
And
that.
everybody had to open something.
I'm gonna start a basket when I get home.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was always kind of fun.
That's hilarious. Well, see, y'all all remember that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do.
You're still laughing about it.
Yeah, I still remember the lipstick. I think it was there was a thing of tissues. I mean, it just doesn't. Whatever, you know.
Yeah, but what a good core memory.
Avon.
Yeah,
That's
so funny.
The toys from McDonald's.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm. The little bitty beanie babies, like that kind of thing. Those would be in there. It's so fun. So anyway, well, all right. So are we done celebrating?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, I think this was a fun
Yeah.
little celebrating talk, ladies.
I think it's just to wrap up. It's important to wake up and go, what am I doing today that's going to make my life happy and fun?
Yes.
Even if it's just getting a coffee.
I had to have that talk.
like.
I had to have that talk with a friend this week who is at a bit rock bottom, and I love her very much. And we talked about it. I said, you're going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. You need a reset, like we talked about last episode.
Uh-huh.
And what you need to find a couple things to do today that make you really happy.
Mm-hmm.
So you going to see a movie? Are you going to read a book?
Well,
what are you going to do? So it's important to view every day. And I talk to myself about this every day as a tiny celebration. What is it that we're going to do?
And I think if you get stuck in a rut or in that place where you're in a negative loop,
Yeah.
to flip it to what can I celebrate today? And I hate to say Pollyanna it, but I mean
But I think if you can find one thing to be happy about every day, I think that goes a long
Yeah,
way.
because sometimes it's so,
And
depression, all of that is such a mental thing
Mm-hmm.
that if you can sometimes find just an outward, like a physical manifestation of walking through it, it will help you get there mentally too, inside.
Well, Bonnie knows, well, you know too, Lauren, I've been in a little bit of a slump.
Yeah.
And I just felt like I've been stuck on a lot of things. But, okay, my daughter won some medals. yesterday.
Good.
So, well, this is the funny. So she comes home. We all had told her how proud we were of her and all that. So I looked at the medals and she was telling me about them. And I watched the video and everything. So I'm sitting there waiting for her to get ready for bed. And y'all, I started giggling and started laughing to myself. Because I could hear her going clink, 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 clink. Oh, she was wearing them all over the house. And then she got in the bath and I didn't hear any clinking. And then she got out and then I hear clink, 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 clink. I was for about an hour and I was like, is that the medals I'm hearing? And she was like giggling. And okay, I have to say, sometimes as women, we do not take the time to say, I am proud of myself.
I did good today. Yeah.
But I was so happy that, I've been worried that she hadn't found her voice, and she has slowly done that. But it made my heart very happy to know she has taken this as a win. She's been acknowledged, and she is acknowledging herself on this.
Yeah.
And she's proud of herself for this.
Yeah.
And I don't know that girls are taught to be proud of themselves for things. And I worry about that with her, but y'all, I was giggling. I was like, she is walking around with those medals. She's so happy. So it was a little happy sound in my house last night. And I think that started kind of pulling me out of my little, I haven't done enough.
Yeah. sometimes just dressing up in general, like
Yeah.
Getting fixed.
You know,
in the
like,
morning is the big thing.
Gala's coming up.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I asked my boyfriend today if he wanted to go, and he was like, I really don't. I said, you don't have to go. You don't have to go. I'm going to take my friend, and her husband can stay home too, because he doesn't want to go either. And if I needed you to go, I would. But are you sure you don't want to get dressed up? And he was like, I don't. And I said, are you sure? Because it's really fun to get dressed up sometimes. He's like, I don't think I do. Ask me again, but I don't think I do. It's okay. But like, I'm looking forward to that because I get to put on a pretty dress, and I like that every once in a while. Like, I'm a casual person. Like, I'm not a fancy human, but every once in a while, God, I love putting on like a beautiful piece of clothing and just like feeling glamorous is the wrong word, but like, I don't know,
Feeling
just like,
beautiful.
yeah, knowing that you look different than you do every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Different. That's what it is. It's different from the norm. And when you're a little bit different from your everyday, like if you're in a slump, for instance, if you're not wearing makeup, if you're not like doing something, just do something different, and it will help to start that, I think. But that's what that does for me. It's just like that little bit different. It's the same thing that travel does. It just breaks up our routines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That can get. Not that routines aren't enjoyable, because they can be wonderful, but they can be so monotonous.
You can get bogged down in.
It can be so monotonous that it can get smothering.
Yeah.
That's another thing we should talk about is monotony.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Not today. Today we're celebrating.
No, today we're celebrating.
Let's celebrate.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You'll have a great week.
You
Oh,
too.
wait.
Oh,
What are you doing to live a life you love this week?
Well, so yesterday I had like a little bonfire with some friends for my upcoming birthday, which is on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, I think that I'm going to grab a drink with like my boyfriend and my kid.
Yay. Yeah. You? Just gonna live a life, huh?
I'm just, yeah.
Trying to think
I'm
if I
going to finish this project that I started, and that will make me
Finish
so
your project.
happy.
There we go. I was trying to think if I had anything. I don't feel like there's something. What's going up this weekend?
I put my new designs out on my old
There you go.
webpage that I'm revising.
Yes, getting back into your art. I'm so
I am.
proud of you. That's
I am.
great.
And I did a consult today for needlepoint.
Oh, there
What?
you go. That's
So
awesome.
that's something to look forward to.
Yes. Well, I don't have anything planned. I'm in this weird little, like I'm staying in my house, I'm cleaning out my house, I'm trying to get it grounded where I am and really loving my home again. And so I think I'm just going to continue this week doing that, because I've got some art projects I'd like to get started, but I feel like there's some things I need to get done in the house first. Oh, and we're going to get a retaining wall, so we can build a fence between our yards again, Lauren. So the dog can have run in our space again.
There won't be any free range dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Our double wide yard will be
The
two
double
single wides
wide.
again.
That has been such a funny phrase. It's so funny.
Okay. Well, y'all have a wonderful week.
Y'all
You too.
Thank y'all for joining us for Champagne Sunday.
See you next week,
See you
girls.
next week. Yeah, cheers.
Have a good week.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers.